Okay, so I haven't done a video in a while, and I am sorry for that. To make it up to you, I don't know. The joke was a lot better in my head. Anyways, I'm going over my Grimmsnarl EX deck list because I haven't yet on this video. On this channel, I have on my TikTok and my Instagram. I don't really post on Instagram. I'll be going over it, and because I'm too lazy to clean off my desk and actually show you guys recordings of the deck list, I mean, I could probably push stuff off, but I'm too lazy to do that. I'm just gonna tell you guys what the main thing about this deck is. I just realized while I am sorting all these cards out because I haven't sorted out yet, I'm gonna tell you the origin of Grimmsnarl and what I've actually learned. So for people to know, I am a big fan of Grimmsnarl, right? I have made tons of videos on this channel and then another channel, I think it was Unite89, going over Grimmsnarl. I remember the first time I tried Grimmsnarl, it was with a Grimmsnarl Zoroark build. It was a complete failure. Then I realized because before Grimmsnarl, I was just going off of, okay, these two cards seem cool, or they're both meta, so why not mash them together? It was whenever I started playing Grimmsnarl, I realized you need an engine for the deck to run. Ever since then, I have always played Grimmsnarl. I've always used Grimmsnarl. I've always loved Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl is life, to me. And I've always used Grimmsnarl. I have made probably 15 other decks with Grimmsnarl. I took all of them apart. I even took apart my Slowking deck, and I love that deck. I was forced to take apart my Charizard EX deck. It rotated out as soon as I started liking it. But I know Grimmsnarl, ever since I made it, I never took it apart. I mean, other than to actually, like, it was my Grimmsnarl Zoroark build to actually build Grimmsnarl. And it wasn't like, Tim Danklin's Grimmsnarl Dusknoir list. I think I was playing Grimmsnarl right around the time he found out about it. So the first Worlds it was the first video where he was recording him going to Worlds with it, or not Worlds. What was it? Regionals with it. I think it was it was New Orleans. Yeah, it was New Orleans. The first regionals when Destiny Rivals was legal. Why didn't I just say that? But I know I started playing Grimmsnarl then. I've absolutely loved it ever since. It is the one deck I can count on. It is the one deck I am comfortable playing to any sort of thing. I know the ins and outs of Grimmsnarl. I know pretty well how to sequence. The only problem I have with Grimmsnarl is just to remember what to do, what I tell my head to do during my sequencing, but that's with every single one of my decks. I have misplayed so many times in my decks. I am like trash at the card game if you watch me just for once, or like up to 3 times, But I know Grimmsnarl I really like. I've always played it. I even built a Grimmsnarl with Mega Frostlass, which ended up being a pretty good deck. Now, granted, I only played one Mega Frostlass because what it was Mega Frostlass was the way I dealt with grass decks, because during the time that I made that deck, it was still a G-block, so grass decks are actually really popular, and for some reason, my locals always had Ogrepon. So of course you usually played Blood Moon for late game, you played a big attacker a lot of times. But I made the Mega Frostlass Grimmsnarl deck list. It's actually pretty fun. I had a video about me going over it, and yeah, I just really liked it. I don't really know what else to say, except for I was very sad when I couldn't play that list anymore. I even made a post-rotation deck list on Pokemon TCG Live. It was post-rotation, but it wasn't rotation yet, So, I've always been a big fan of Grimmsnarl. I always have and I always will be. And when this deck actually goes out of rotation, I will be so very sad. It might even be a horrible deck when the G block cards or H block cards when I rotate out because the whole engine itself is gone. But yeah, this is my Grimmsnarl Gwynn deck list. I did not specify that at the beginning of the video, and I should have. This is the brand new Grimmsnarl with Gwynn. Of course, everybody's playing with Gwynn now because it is probably the best build of Grimmsnarl currently. This isn't a Zool GG's build. In fact, this is my own build I've been rocking for a while. For a while, I mean like 1 or 2 months, maybe a month and like 2 months and a half, maybe. But it's very fun. I actually, last time I was at my locals, I got 3-0 with it, and I actually beat a Mega Venusaur deck with it. So the deck gets set really fast. Anyways, don't want to take up too much time. Here's the list. We play 3 Mars Grimmsnarl for what I personally think is the best ability in the game. Right? Its attack is not much. If you want to play a spread deck, just go with Dragapult. Which is what I would say during G-Blocks. The G-Block format, but now I'm saying if you go Dragapult and you go against me, I'm throwing Rotten Tomatoes at you. Anyways, what Grimmsnarl has over Dragapult is energy acceleration. When I say energy acceleration, I love its ability. It reads Punk Up. When you play, I'll have it like right here, maybe if I remember to edit it. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve on your Pokemon during your turn, research your deck to 5 basic dark energy cards and attach them to your Mars Pokemon anyway like. Now you're probably like, okay, 5 Mars Pokemon, or five energy cards. All right, I mean Charizard did something similar with 3 energy cards, but instead it was only 2. Instead it was to all your Pokemon, not Marnie's. What's the big whoop about it? Well, Shadow Bolt, it takes only 2 dark energies, right? So you're like, okay, well that's even worse because what if Iron Thorn's in there? You know, then you know, I have to manually attach for 2 turns. Here's the thing. Grimmsnarl is an aggressive spread deck. So you're supposed to get out Grimmsnarl by turn 1 or at least 1. But what a lot of people, what I see a lot of people do on YouTube and TikTok, what they glance over Grimmsnarl when they talk about his ability, is if you use his ability, like if you use 1 Punk Up ability during 1 turn and attachment energy for turn, you could build up 3 Grimmsnarls with just 1 ability and attachment for turn. But what I used to play before rotation happened is I would play the early version of this deck would play 3 Energy Switch because I want to take full advantage of the Punk Up ability. So I either say, however, whenever I'm explaining how Punk Up is one of my favorite abilities, I even think it's the best one of the best abilities. I say you can either build up you could either build up 3 Grimmsnarls with an energy attachment and 1 Punk Up ability, or you could build up 1 Grimmsnarl and 4 Monkey Dories with an energy attachment for turn, which is insane. Especially since this deck does play. I used to play 3 Monkey Dories because I didn't have any problems. Now I play 4 Monkey Dories. And now Monkey Dories are the easiest thing in my life. So, yeah, the 3 Grimmsnarls I do play because sometimes they're prized. I've had a couple test matches where a Grimmsnarl was prized and I had to search for the other ones. Also, a lot of test matches where I don't get my rare candies, and those are bummers. I don't want to play them out because the aggressive turbos. Because the aggressiveness is kind of just gone, so I have to manually evolve into Grimmsnarl. But that's also not that difficult because you're really easily able to find your Morgrims. Speaking of Morgrims, we are playing 2 Morgrims. His attack isn't bad either. It's for 2 dark energies, does 6 damage. Oh yeah, Shadow Bullet. I didn't even read what Shadow Bullet does. Shadow Bullet does 180 to the front, and this attack also does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. And here's the thing: since it's damage, since the 30 damage is damage, not damage counters. Yeah, that's me. Since it's damage, not damage counters, then Mist Energy doesn't block it. Battle Cage doesn't block it. Yeah, Articuno doesn't block it. So the thing is, with Dragapult, there's a couple counters for Dragapult. There's Battle Cage, there's Mist Energy, and Articuno, kinda. With Grimmsnarl, the only counters I can think of are Terra Pokemon, Shaman, and if we're talking about expanded, then Manaphy. So there's a lot more counters for Dragapult than there is for Grimmsnarl, But like, to be honest, Dragon Pulse is much better because it does 60 damage instead of 30. But yeah, anyways, we're playing 2 Morgrim, which does 60 damage, no effect. Pretty good. If you're able to get a Morgrim built up and your opponent has like a Budu or something that you just want to take out with Morgrim, you can easily do it with 60 damage. And then for our first evolved Pokemon, we're playing 3 Marnie's Impidimp. I actually really like the Impidimp because you can draw a card with Filch and you can do 10 damage with Corkscrew Punch with just 1 energy both. Speaking of monkeys from earlier, like I said, we played 4 Monkey Dories with that fantastic Adrenabrain. Listen, I will glaze Grimmsnarl as much as I can. Grimmsnarl is my favorite deck ever. Like its ability, fantastic. Its attack, meh. I mean, the energy cost isn't bad. It could be 3 energies. It's just its damage output isn't that good, right? Monkey Dory's ability, however, is one of the best. Monkey Dory is the best card in the game. And the only reason why Grimmsnarl is so good is because we can take advantage of Monkey Dory. Because we already play energy cards, because we already play energies, or was it dark energies, we are obviously going to be we're obviously going to be playing Monkey Dories. And because Grimmsnarl can power itself up, as well as a couple other ones, we can easily save our energy attachment for Monkey Dories. Also, early times whenever I was playing with Grimmsnarl, I would play energy switch, and what I found out was if I was energy short, I had like 2 Monkey Dories, but one of them had energy on it. Instead of having to energy search for energy, you could just energy switch. In those times, energy search would have been a lot better, but I actually honestly think energy switch, even though energy search is better in some cases, there's a lot more cases where energy switch can be used. It's like the old saying that I like: a jack of all trades, a master of none, is oftentimes better than a master of one. Energy switch was a jack of all trades. I don't know what I'm going on. All I'm saying is, Monkey Dory is the best card in the game. Because we play Dark Energies as our only energy, we're playing, obviously, multiple Monkey Dories. Now, because we play 4 Monkey Dories is because we're playing the Frostlass engine. And because it's a Gwynn, we play 3 Frostlass with that Freezing Shroud ability. I have lost so many games because of Freezing Shroud. Because my opponent was only able to hit 300 instead of the actual 320. Because what Frostlass does is during Pokemon checkup, put 1 damage counter on each Pokemon has ability, both of your opponents, except any Frostlass. Meaning, if you have a Grimmsnarl out, and you have a Frostlass out, it does 10 damage going to your opponent's turn, or after you end your turn. After your opponent enters turn, they take 10 damage. Meaning, when it comes back to you, no matter what, they're going to have 300 damage, 300 health left at least. If there's a Gravity Mountain in play, you might as well just scoop, because they'll have 270 damage, and Lucario already hits that number with its Mega Brave base damage. So, but yeah, Mega Lucario is already a bad match for Grimmsnarl. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, anyways, to evolve into the Mega Frostlass, we were playing, or to evolve into the Baby Frostlass, we were playing 3 Snorunt's. This is supposed to be a 70 HP one. I don't have a third one. So I'm just using one from Twilight Masquerade. Doesn't matter. I'm able to evolve in Frostlass pretty well. Or I just find my other Snorunt and just use that Snorunt for Gwynn. And then for our kind of just tech mons and support mons, we're playing Yveltal, Tatsugiri, Budu. I think Azul GG, if you're watching this, you're probably not because I am not that big. But Azul, if you're watching this, cut one of your buddies and put a Tatsugiri in. I honestly think, right now actually, I think with the amount of boss we play, I think you want these 2 tech cards, and then Budu kind of just there, or to get set up easier. Yveltal Retreat Locks for 1 Dark Energy. Everybody knows what Buddy does. I don't have to explain to it all. I don't have to explain it to you guys. But if you don't know, look it up or something. I don't know. It's not that big. I'll just do it. Ichipollen does 10 damage for no energies or an item lost your opponent. And then Tatsugiri is probably my favorite support mon because attract customers is the ability. So you can use this. It's like unlike our other 2 cards, The reason why we play Tatsugiri isn't for its attack, but it's for its ability. It says, once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in an active spot, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck. Reveal a supporter card you find there and put it into your hand, then shuffle the other cards back into your deck. I have won so many games because of Tatsugiri. I have had so many bad starts where I end up getting a Tatsugiri out, right? From Buddy Buddy, Pokepad, doesn't matter. I end up retreating. and into Tatsugiri, and I get either a Gwyn, a Petrol to find my secret box, a Lilies, or a boss to keep stalling. And I keep using Tatsugiri over and over. And so I think Tatsugiri is an underrated card for almost a lot of decks, actually. Tatsugiri, I used to hate Tatsugiri because they wouldn't give me anything. But for some reason now, Tatsugiri is on my side. It's like, he's my best friend now. Now granted, Grimmsnarl is my best friend in Pokemon, but Tatsugiri is almost there. Grimmsnarl has to start doing better. Anyways, that was the Pokemon. I think we played like 21 Pokemon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So, we played 21 Pokemon, and 3 of them are Roblox, which leaves 18 to be single price. How am I in high school? Leaves 18 single price cards. So on to the supporters. We play 4 Lilies. Yeah, Gwynn is our main draw support, but sometimes we don't want to discard our single prize cards, or we can't. We can't use Gwyn because we have no Pokemon in our hand. So Lilies is the best way to go. It is a huge, fantastic draw card, and I think should be in almost every deck. At least 2 copies. We also play 3 boss orders because of the game. Well, to be honest, we lost TMD Evolution, so you can't take out bench Pokemon to knock out. So boss orders is definitely have to be more reliant than it was pre-rotation. Speaking of wins, our Gwyn count. Instead of Azul GG having 2, I have 3. I've needed Gwyn so much more times than I have in any other deck right now in this deck. I mean, Gwyn is really good. So I've even had it really good early game when I play Gwyn because I'm sorry, the video got cut out. I had to free up some space. Anyways, yeah, the Gwyn is our main draw support. There we go. I don't know. But yeah, Petrels, we play 2 of them just because. I mean, there's a lot of gender cards in this deck. Like, for example, early game, if we have a Spike Month and input up on the bench, but we have a Petrol in our hand, we can Petrol for Rare Candy, evolve into Grimmsnarl, and retreat into Grimmsnarl and start attacking on turn 2. That's kind of the main way to do it. You can play, if you do have Petrol, you can Secret Box and get a Spike Month, Rare Candy, Air Balloon, and then a Lilies for next turn or something like that, you know? There's 3 combo cards that can easily get a Grimmsnarl out. Anyways, that is the supporters. Onto the item cards. We do play 4 Pokepads. You must be wondering, how does he have so much money? He has 4 Pokepads. I have 8. Probably more than that. But, you know, you're probably not wondering that. Pokepads are really essential in this deck because we played 21 Pokemon and only 3 of them are 2 pricers. So, there's a lot of cards we might need all throughout the game. That is a single prize card. Do I have bags under my eyes? I don't know. But Pokepad's really good, especially if we don't have a Buddy Buddy, but we have a Pokepad in our hand. We can go ahead, get Impotent, and then if we can evolve into him next turn, we can easily just do that. We also play 2 Buddy Buddies. Again, early game setup. We don't use Buddy Buddies late game. If you use Buddy Buddies late game, you are either a Festival League player or an Alakazam player. Even Zoroark doesn't even use Buddy Buddies late game. I'm not clowning on you. Festival League is really cool. And if you play Alakazam, I'm sorry. I'm going to wreck you. Anyways, we play 2 Night Stretchers. You know? I might not beat you. I'm not that good at the game. But we play 2 Night Stretchers for recovery. Mind you, this is the only recovery we have in our deck. So we have to use them wisely throughout the game. But you usually just use Night Stretcher if you want to recover like a single prize card. If you usually use Night Stretcher if you want to recover a Pokemon from Gwynn, or if you don't have another Grimmsnarl, but you need another one, you can just Night Stretcher back for Grimmsnarl and do that, or use it for Monkey Dories and energies. That's really the only reason why you ever use Night Stretcher. You don't use it for Frostlass, you don't use it for Snorunt, except for me. Well, no, not except for me. If you're, like, this is if you're me. I only ever have one Frostlass out during the entire game. If that thing gets knocked out, I'm going to try and build up another one. But, like, Frostlass is just there for just spread damage, and you can use Monkey Dory really a lot better. So that's really the only reason why. Anyways, we also play 2 rare candies. Again, this is supposed to be an aggressive deck, not a slow deck like Dragapult. So we play 2 rare candies to get like Grimmsnarl out turn 2. If you can get multiple Grimmsnarls out by turn 2, I'm like jealous of you. And then we also play Dark Bell. This is another card Azul GG. Oh, I don't think Azul plays it in his list. But yeah, Dark Bell I do think is actually pretty good. It's a very good tech card. People don't know. This is a new card. So it says both active non-dark Pokemon are now confused. So the way this works is since Confusion is such a good card, like Confusion is such a good condition to put on your opponent's Pokemon. If you use it with a Grimmsnarl up in front, you can use a Dark Bell. Let's say it's a Lucario with no energies on it. We play Dark Bell to confuse the Lucario, and it doesn't confuse Grimmsnarl because he's Dark type. Lucario only gets confused because it's a non-dark type. So we can play Dark Bell, do 180 and then 30 to the bench, and then during our next turn, we can one-shot the Grimmsnarl again if they don't play Waldies. We do that again, and then during our next turn, we can easily do stuff like, you know, if they have a Riolu that they haven't evolved, we're gonna knock it out. If we have like it depends. Most of the time you play Dark Bell against the Lucario deck, and if they have like a Makuhita or Riolu on the bench, you're usually taking 4 knockouts during that turn. Like, based on my experience. Probably not with you guys. I mean, the Pokemon TCG apparently has favorites. I don't really play Pokemon TCG though. Anyways, to finish off the item cards, we do play our Expect Secret Box. I'm going to say it because it is a pretty pink card. I like the pretty pink cards. Anyways, it says, I can't see. Okay. You can use this card only if you discard 3 of the cards from your hand. I already know what it does. Discard 3 cards from your hand, it's your deck for 1 of every trainer. So you can get a rare candy, Spike. My obvious choice is always Spikemuth. Oh, my secret box is back here. Anyways, my main combo I like to get a secret box is since I always use it early game, I get a Spikemuth, rare candy, or Buddy Buddy. What is it? Air Balloon, and then like a Lilies for next turn. It's either gonna be a boss or Lilies, depends on. I can get boss. If I can win next turn, I get boss. If I have multiple cards in my hand, I get Gwynn. If my hand is just trash and I want a new one, I get Lilies. Or I could just get Petrol for next turn. If none of those work, I can just get Petrol and put none and search my deck for another stadium. Anyways, for our tool cards, we play 1 Air Balloon. For the 2 less retreat costs, basically giving all of our Pokemon in this deck free retreat. That's all the tool cards. For the stadiums, of course, you know we gotta play 4 Spikemuth. Are you crazy? Spikemuth, for people who don't know. Once during each player's turn, I play my search deck for a Marnie's Pokemon, reveal it, and put it in their hand. So it's one of the best stadiums. It's like a Master Ball that you can use more than once every game for Marnie's Pokemon. So that is the stadium you always use in Marnie's Grimmsnarl, in any Marnie's deck actually. It's gotta be like top 5, maybe I think it's top 3 stadiums. Just because of how I said it, it's like, because it really is. It's like a Master Ball that you can use multiple times during the game, and you can go for any Marnie's. It's like a Master Ball for Marnie's Pokemon you can use all throughout the game. Really good. And then we play a whopping 9 energies. Yeah. Anywho, That is the Grimmsnarl EX deck, or as I call it, Gwynnsnarl. I don't call it that. I call it Grimothy. But apparently it's now Gwynnsnarl. I will always call it Grimothy because, I mean, I'm in this relationship for Grimmsnarl, not Gwyn. But yeah, it's a very fun deck. I say if you want to try out just Grimmsnarl, if you're like wanting to get into Grimmsnarl new, I say Azul GG's. I like this build better. I don't like his build because of the amount of Pokemon it plays. It's really tight on space. But if you're trying to get into Grimmsnarl, I suggest Azul's deck list because he did get 13-0. That's huge for Grimmsnarl. But if you play Grimmsnarl, you want to try his deck list out, I say go all in for it. I will always be posting about Grimmsnarl. I'll always post about Grimmsnarl until he's gone. I might even make expanded deck lists about Grimmsnarl. That's saying something because he's not good and expanded. Grimmsnarl is just my favorite deck. I've always liked it. I think I actually tried out the deck. I think I started playing Grimmsnarl like a month or a month and a half after it was released, or after it became leaked. It was after those what was it? Those rival battle decks came out. I bought the what was it? Marnie's one, and I used the Grimmsnarls. I didn't use a deck. I used the Grimmsnarls, the Spikemuth, the Morpeko. I used all those cards. It was a very fun deck. I think Grimmsnarl has helped me find out my favorite archetype of decks. I like the aggressive or like the fast turbo ones. And I also like energy acceleration. So I think I kind of know how to play Grimmsnarl. I'm not like top tier Grimmsnarl player, but I do really like enjoying it. I really hope after H block rotates out, I'll like at least when the H blocks rotate out, I'll have a Mega Frost size build. But what I do know is when Delta Ring comes out, I am buying Goliath EXs. I am building that deck. I have an idea. And it's not like anyone else is playing. It's not Mega Starmie. It's not Mega Frost size. No. It's going to be a doozy for those people who want to try it out. But yeah, stay tuned. Subscribe so that way when I do release it, I think I'm trying to build a list on Limitless CCG right now. So subscribe if you want to get a notification about that. Also, I'm just saying subscribe because I'm a little YouTuber. I'm doing this a lot. I want to start doing a lot. I didn't do it all summer. I should have done it this summer, but I didn't. But yeah, if you guys have anything you want me to post about, feel free to leave in the comments. I'm gonna post about Pokemon regardless. But Destiny 2 is gone. Dead by Daylight. I need Dead by Daylight for Honor. I need Xbox Game Pass and Minecraft. I mean, I kind of just play creative in that one. It's fun. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to see more. Of course, posting Pokemon, like I said. But yeah, I'll see you.